All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We got one round of applause. Hopefully we'll get more than that throughout the night. Okay. Just kidding, I don't need that. So we are here for a fun night tonight, and we are very grateful that you all made it out this evening. But before we get started, I'm Kristen. I work here at Catapult, and I would be remiss if I didn't take this time to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do. So if you've never been here before, congratulations for making it out. We are an entrepreneur center. So our goal is to foster an environment for founders to build scalable startups. And really what we're trying to do is we do that through our space that we have here. So if you've never been through the whole space, downstairs we have a full maker space, metal shop, wood shop, 3D printers, and you're going to hear about a business from the maker space today. We also have a commercial kitchen. If you've ever been to the farmer's market on Saturday, I would say some of the best food that's there is made here. So we have about 40 food businesses that work downstairs, and you're going to hear some of those tonight too. And then we have our co-working space up on the second and third floor. Another thing that we try to do is help people get access to capital, and that's why we're here tonight, is to help facilitate some grants. So we don't make any of the decisions for this grant. We basically just help prepare the pictures, organize the event, and invite all of you here to get to be a part of it. Before we move on, if you would like a tour of the facility, we would love to give you one. You can schedule that by scanning this QR code. Come any time, take a look at the building, meet some of our members. But tonight is not necessarily going to be the best night for that because we want to focus on our finalists. So, to get us going, we have Cammie, who's going to be our MC for tonight. So how about you give Cammie a huge round of applause?
Hello, hello. Well, welcome to Launch Pitch Night. This is one of my favorite nights of the year. We do it twice a year, so if you have fun tonight, be on the lookout. We'll do it again in the fall, but thank you guys for coming. Did any of us have some of the El Gallo Tejano street corn on the way in? Isn't it great? She is setting up right here again, so if you didn't get some, or if you want seconds, nobody's judging, feel free to grab some after. Scan that QR code, see where you can find her on Instagram and where she's going to be next. She is at the farmer's market, so if you liked her stuff, go and check her out there. But thank you guys for being here tonight. By being here tonight, you're not just supporting entrepreneurs, but you're supporting Lakeland and the community and its growth as well. So thank you for taking time out of your busy weeks to come here this night and to celebrate with our entrepreneurs. But are you guys ready to give away some money tonight? Yep. That was pretty good, but I think we can do a little bit better. We want to give these entrepreneurs our best. So are we ready to give away money tonight? There we go, there we go, there we go. I love it. Well, for those of you who don't know what Launch Pitch Night is or what the Launch Micro Grant is, I want to go over a little bit of how it got its start. So back in 2014, Catapult got its start. It kind of started as an experiment to see, okay, are there entrepreneurs in Lakeland? And if so, do they want a place to gather? And so, as you can see on the screen, it got its start in the basement of Bank of America downtown. And quickly it caught on, and we were like, okay, yes, there are entrepreneurs in Lakeland. They want a place to gather. And so, as these small businesses started to go to get loans for different things, they weren't quite able to qualify for them because they were small businesses. And so, our local financial institutions are awesome. They're here with us tonight, and they said, you know what, we want to be able to help these small businesses, and we want to bridge that gap for them. And so they pulled together their resources, they partnered with Catapult and created the Launch Micro Grant Program. So that means that the entrepreneurs who apply are able to apply for up to $10,000 to purchase an asset that will directly lead to growth in their business. We also have a student sector to this as well. Students are eligible to win up to $2,500 if they do the Launch Micro Grant Program. And we do have a student here with us tonight, which we're really excited about. So we've had, in Catapult's time, over 55 businesses launch into their very own brick and mortar space, which is what we're here for. We want to see Lakeland continue to develop and continue to grow with specialty businesses. And so in that time, a lot of those founders have participated in the Launch Micro Grant Program like tonight. And so they're able to purchase an asset that really helps grow their business and helps them be able to launch into the community faster. So you can see up there on the screen, we have east of these. They're a business that launched out of the maker makerspace here in Lakeland. They're downtown on Traders Alley. We have Rima from Vegetation Cafe and Kitchen. She participated, has her own cafe now off of Gary Road. Be sure to check her out. But this grant is a huge catalyst for entrepreneurs to be able to grow their business, to scale, to take that next step. And so we're really excited to get to continue that tonight. Are you guys ready? Yes. It's going to be awesome. So we have 5 finalists here tonight, but how do these 5 finalists end up here? Number 1, they fill out an application. So applications are open not just to Catapult members, but to the whole community. And then we send those applications off to the financial institution. So Catapult is not involved in selecting the finalists or picking who is awarded. Our financial institutions are the ones who do all of that. So after applications are filled out, they then do all kinds of prep and preparation to get to today. And then today, earlier, they had their closed-door session, so they're able to talk with those judges, tell about their business, what it is they're asking for, look at financials, all of that stuff. So they prep, they go through that, and then you guys get to see the next part, which is the live pitch, where they'll come up here and they will pitch live to you guys and in front of our judges. And then after that, our judges are going to head off. They're going to deliberate to see who will be awarded tonight. And while that's happening, we're going to have a Q&A session with our finalists. So if you guys have questions while these people are presenting, while they're pitching, go ahead and remember those, hold on to them, and then during that Q&A, you'll be able to fire away, ask any questions that you have, and that will be a fun time. And then after that, we are going to give away some money. It's going to be fun. Okay, so without further ado, we are so thankful to our financial institutions who make this possible. This grant exists because of their generosity. Thank you to our judges for taking time out of your week to be here with us. And so thank you to our financial institutions for making this night so fun and so possible. So we're going to be introduced to our judges here in just a second. The financial institutions send people from their institution to be here tonight to judge this event. And so if you guys want to grab that microphone and then introduce with your name and which institution you are from.
Hi, my name is Tracy Keller. I am a premier banker from Wells Fargo. I work at the Markham Road location in North Lakeland.
I am not a banker. My name is Greg Manning. I'm with the Florida SBDC at USF, and while in my prior life owning my own business, I borrowed a lot of money from bankers, so it's very familiar with that process.
My name is Sam Ryder. I'm a representative of Bank of America. Me and a few of my colleagues here work for Merrill Lynch. We do wealth management and custom lending.
I am in the same boat as Greg. My name is Clay Canning. I run a venture-backed startup right here out of Lakeland. I actually pitched in this over 6 years ago now. So excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Alrighty, so we have our finalists. They're getting ready to pitch live, but before we send our first one up, just a few reminders for you guys as the audience. Our entrepreneurs are not necessarily professional speakers, and it takes a lot to get up in front of people and to share about their business. They've put a lot of work to get here tonight to have this live pitch. They've already done the work for the closed session, so we want to show them love. We want to give them encouragement during their pitch, after their pitch. So after each pitch is done, we are going to give them a huge round of applause. So let's go ahead and practice. At the end of a pitch, what are we going to do? Awesome. That was great. And lastly, if you guys want to go ahead, if you have a cell phone, any device with you, go ahead and silence it. We don't want to be distracting while they're pitching to throw them off or anything. But without further ado, we are ready to get started with our first pitch is Brooke Summers from Dermagenius. She's a student from Florida Southern Seed to Scale program. And give it up for Brooke.
Stop getting distracted by social media influencing each and every one of your purchases. Stop letting other people persuade you on what they think you should buy. And most importantly, stop letting other people decide and think what you should do. And instead, start listening to your body. And most importantly, start listening to your DNA. There's always going to be new products on the market that are changing, but the one thing that doesn't change is your DNA, which is why I created Dermagenius. Dermagenius is the first company that is linking users to those existing beauty products on the market based off of their genetics. We're eliminating trial and error, and we're saving you time and money, and additionally, reducing that waste. Now be honest, raise your hand if you have ever bought a product, it didn't work, and because it didn't work, you couldn't return it. Look around the room for me, please. Exactly, and you're not alone. People like Mary Kate aren't alone. Mary Kate is someone who had acne-prone skin, very sensitive. She would constantly be buying new products that everyone else thought she needed, and it just didn't end up working, which is why she came to Dermagenius. She was able to easily order a kit online, and after we were able to send it to her, she was able to send us back for free a saliva sample, and within 4 to 6 weeks, we were able to send her a personalized portfolio accessible to her anytime, anywhere. Within those 4 to 6 weeks, we were able to ask her questions and surveys about products she's tried in the past, what she hasn't liked, and what she's really looking to target. And also considering environmental and dietary factors so we can get a full, clear vision on who she is and how we can recommend the best products for her. And how we do this is easy. And I know this looks very big, scary, and complicated, and don't worry, it absolutely is. However, but you want to look at kind of this as like process of elimination. So we're taking into first her considerations of what she sends into us. Okay, what products has she tried, what didn't work, and we're immediately knocking those out. Additionally, those products that didn't work, what other products have similar ingredients that also aren't working? So we knock those out as well. And then harmful products, period, that just aren't going to be working for anybody, have constant reactions, and are just not compatible for humans to apply on their skin. And then we take it a step closer by leveraging that AI to recommend the best products for her. We're taking her skin analyzer with her ingredient analyzer, and then we're able to take that and recommend those best products for her. And there are other brands that are rooted in beauty. So this is Yuka, and it's an app that allows you to rate beauty and food products based off of their QR codes, their scanner codes out of 0 to 100. And so they don't make their own products. They don't have genetic support. However, they are free. And on top of that is a company that does a little bit closer to what we do, and that's SkinShift. So SkinShift is using genetics to curate their own serums. Because they make their own serums, the only person to test it on is that user. And oftentimes, these formulas are way too concentrated and actually end up having negative effects on them. They have that genetic support, however, they are highly expensive with constant reoccurring fees. And that's where Dermagenius comes in, because we're genetically linking users to those existing beauty products that are already approved on the market. We have that genetic support, and users only have to purchase us once for a lifetime of solutions. And they're only buying us once. But that is creating lasting revenue from each of those recommendations, which is how we are creating our sustainable business model. So again, Mary Kate, think of this profile more of like an Amazon storefront and how they utilize affiliated marketing. So we see a popular influencer will often link their Amazon storefront in their Instagram. Their followers can click on this link and see the products that the influencer showed in their videos, what they talked about, and buy it, and the influencer is able to get commission on each of the products that is bought via their special link. So in that same way, Dermagenius is earning commission on each purchase that is bought via our app, and like that Amazon storefront does. We're utilizing that affiliated marketing. And this is the team that's been able to make it all happen. My name is Brooke Summers. I'm the founder and CEO of Dermagenius. I have a strong background in product development, sales, and marketing from my internships. And on top of things, for the science aspect, I have Nancy Morbillo, who's my main mentor and geneticist from Florida Southern. And also from Florida Southern, we have Justin Haycock, who's been able to turn this vision into a reality. And these are the team that's truly going to make this impact happen in solving the problem of trial and error that is fueling a $60 billion annual skincare industry. And the only solution in this is to find the products that are actually going to work for you, not just having to buy products that aren't working for you. It's filling up your beauty cabinets and introducing to so much waste. And because if you were able to have accurate recommendations, you were able to see what's going to work for you, you can reduce the amount of beauty product purchases in your lifetime by 58%. And the impact is undeniable when you're looking at transforming your skincare routine, cutting that unnecessary spending, you're cutting that unnecessary time, and on top of things, we're eliminating that harmful products that you probably don't even know are harmful. And on top of this as well, we are also reducing that overconsumption that is filling in your cabinets. And which is why I'm here today to ask for $2,500 to build a proof of concept and to build this pilot. With the funding, it's going to be able to cover that pilot testing, that data collection, and the validation for the AI that we want to build. We want to transform our data into actual imperial data and to really prove the need for this in the market through our total addressable market. And because I'm a college student involved in numerous organizations, my campus outreach is huge. I have numerous collegiate participants who are already ready and aligned and really want to see this become a reality and are willing to submit samples to be a part of this process. However, the funding is needed to be able to execute this pilot. And this isn't just a vision. I want to turn my visions into a real action. And to do this, I want to be able to consult with external labs to ensure precision, reliability, and most importantly, credibility. And on top of this as well is be able to create custom product previews to showcase that real-world effectiveness. We're showing that it works for people and how it works. And lastly, partnering with FSC's AI department to prepare for that seamless beta launch. I've done numerous steps to create Dermagenius into a reality working in the labs, and I know while working in the labs, my outfit may not be the best. I can assure you our work definitely is. So right now I'm in the place where I'm actively looking for connecting with mentors, connecting with those partners and those investors that are passionate about innovation and entrepreneurship. Thank you guys so much for your time here tonight. My name is Brooke Summers. This was Dermagenius.
It's working, great. Very nice, Brooke, very nice. Once you use the $2,500, what's next? What do you need after that? Or how close will you be to a minimum viable product or prototype at that point?
Yeah, so after the $2,500, what we're able to do is that truly is just going to validate the back end of it. So what's further after that is the front end of it. How are we going to continue to build our market outreach? How are we going to continue to move forward with the moving pieces on the front end? So then after that, it would being able to utilize a space like this and utilize the partnerships and connections you get from Catapult to really open those doors. Like after you get that initial launch, who is there to then see, how did you use the money in an appropriate manner? And then looking at investors who can further help you in a manner that can be further to the company's development to truly see for future partnerships and then maybe even shareholders in the future.
Another question. How long
Yeah.
between the time somebody does the sample and sends it in to you, do you have the results back?
4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And within that time period, they fill out surveys discussing a bunch of different things. So within that time period, while we're getting that genetic side of it, we're also seeing your background side of it. Being like, is it your diet? Are you consuming something you're kind of allergic to that's causing reactions? Or is it your environmental? Are you not changing your pillowcase? Or how often are you going to the gym and sweating? Or like even the fabric of your clothes, like what detergent are you using? Things like that all take into place.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Is there any potential IP risk with this? Do you think you'll be able to file any patents, anything like that?
Yeah, so the goal would be to further file the patent, but right now we're in a place where we want to ensure the company is at a place right now where we have the kind of structure very set up in place to the point where we know, okay, moving forward, Dermagenius is going to be at this point doing this XYZ because we want to make it to a place before we file the patent where everything is solid. Because as you know, after you file the patent, there's no going back being like, wait, I want to add this. So I want to make sure we are at a place where we can fully add it and ensure it's going to be a successful patent as well.
So with the commissions that you'll be charging
Yeah.
from beauty brands, is that a system that you're going to build out? Are you going to try to replicate it like the influencer does? Tell me a little bit more about that. How are you going to charge it? What is it going to look like?
So the beauty brands actually aren't being charged, which is why affiliated marketing through Amazon is so successful. You see all the new beauty influencers and even just like regular influencers utilizing Amazon storefronts, because what it is obviously Amazon is upcharging ever so slightly the products that they do, or whether it's through their shipping or however they do it, even through like their own taxes they take out of it. So how they do the storefronts is it's actually being charged in the upcharge that Amazon sells it and then is giving that back to the influencer. So we're not charging beauty companies extra in the same way we're not charging the consumer extra, but it's through Amazon and the way they sell their products because they're the number one like platform to sell anything on.
And how do you decide which products to match to the customer?
Yeah, so through that process of elimination. So we're, like talked about earlier, taking out the products you tried in the past. What's similar to that? We're taking those out. We're taking out those harmful ingredient like that have in those products, immediately taking those out. And then we more look at kind of your biomarkers. So your biomarkers are easily being able to tell you how well your skin can absorb something, or in the same way how you do genetic allergy testing. It tells you which things you need to avoid, which ones you're gonna have slight reactions to, or just neutral. And so we're taking that, and it's just this huge process of elimination to find the things you don't have a conflict with.
Awesome. All right, everybody give it up for Brooke. Great job, Brooke. Alrighty. Next up, we have Deborah and Trevor from Franklin Bread House. They are a kitchen member here at Catapult, and they're a European sourdough bakery. So everybody give it up for Deborah and Trevor.
Hey guys, pleasure to be here. I was the guy who said yeah very loudly about the food because we do a great job, everybody down in the kitchen, so it's great to have that kind of call out. So as you can see, we're Franklin Bread House. I'm Trevor, as she said, and this is my wife.
My name is Deborah, nice to meet you, and we are a European sourdough bakery. And on the photos here, you can see our product. We specialize in European-style sourdough breads, as well as we do sourdough, real authentic Bavarian pretzels. And for special occasions, we also bake Polish cakes like for Easter or for Christmas. And for all our products, we always use organic flour, and we also always reach for the highest quality ingredients.
If any of that sounds good to you, if those photos looked appealing, you can find us every Saturday at these two markets, downtown Farmers Curb in Lakeland, and actually the staff is here. It's great to see you guys. And you can also find us at the Winter Haven Farmers Market. So we usually have our full complement at either market.
So what is our origin? How did we start it? So a few years ago, I moved from Europe to US, and I realized that in the area we used to live, which was Plant City and then later Riverview, there was no nice bread. And then I got pregnant with our first baby, and all he craved was bread. And I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was really frustrated, and I told my husband, you have to start baking. We have to figure it out. So after many tries, he was able to bake delicious loaf of sourdough bread. And then I got pregnant again. So I told him, listen, buddy, you're getting a second job. And then he said, why don't we turn our hobby, which is baking bread, into actually a small business? And that's what we did. And we started attending local farmers market. It was in Brandon, in Riverview. And actually, we were selling out. The demand was huge. And after I gave birth to our second baby, I took her to Germany for a trip to visit our family. And I remember we were walking through all those bakeries, and they had those delicious Bavarian pretzels. And she loved them. We loved them. And after I came back with her, I told my husband, Trevor, why don't we try baking Bavarian pretzels? Nobody makes pretzels here. Nobody makes great pretzels here. So that's what we did.
Yeah, I missed a cue. Yeah, there's our beautiful daughter. I missed a second cue. So how are we doing? So you can see a brief approximation of our growth over this last quarter. So we were doing about 2,000 a month, and then when we come to March, we end up going about 8,000. So what's the big differentiator? One, stability, and two, pretzels. So adding pretzels really blew us up. We increased our gross revenue growth by over 400%, 10 times the number of transactions we were performing, and then we hired 3 part-time employees. So yeah, wow. It feels great, you know what I mean? So, yeah, thank you. Thank you. We hope to keep growing, so hopefully there'll be another one like that. So now we're looking, well, how can we kind of keep this growth going? How can we replicate it, right? Because that's what everybody asks. When you get good growth, how can you replicate it? So we want to get accurate production. Reducing wastage will help us make more money, and we often can sell out of a product. So if we're able to produce that product and continue sell it, then we're going to make more money as well, right? Expanding our product line, we have done events where we sold coffees, and those coffees would make up a large portion of actually our sales alongside our pretzels. So if we are in a position to expand our product line, then we make more money, right? And then the last thing is attending more events. The more events we're at, the more people we're in front of, the more product we sell, right? And the technical term for this is we will produce oodles of money.
So what's our solution? Our solution is a food trailer. And why is that? Because we can take that food trailer to an event, we can see how busy it is, and we can roll our pretzels there, we can bake them freshly there, and we can serve that delicious freshly baked pretzel to our customers without worrying that, oh, we're going to overproduce or we're going to really underproduce. And like my husband mentioned, we can also introduce to others products, like for example, warm cheese dip, which we did before, but the logistic behind taking the cheese from the kitchen, dragging it to the market, we spilled on the way, it's awful. But over there, we can prepare everything freshly and we can just serve it.
That's true, we spilled a lot of cheese. So there are two items that we're really looking for to kind of join us in our food truck. The first one is this Garland gas oven. So we approximate it'll produce 64 pretzels an hour. That's a pretty conservative estimate. But on that, we would produce about $4 per pretzel, and that'll be about $256 per hour that we're able to operate this machine. And then this is the kind of auxiliary item. So every food trailer has something that can only be run with electric. So this is going to produce the electricity for us and power those small appliances. And you'll see maybe in really small letters, it says quiet, right? People do not want a loud generator running at their markets, okay? If you ever try it, they will kick you out, all right? They don't want it. So now we're thinking, what are the benefits of doing this? Also, I realized you left. So they run the market, so they're thinking that's exactly what we do. So what are the benefits? So we're expecting conservatively a 40% increase in our gross revenues by getting this food trailer operating. We're going to see the ability to attend markets that wouldn't accept us otherwise, right? Villages operates a market every week, every other week, and it's specifically for food truck, food trailer vendors, right? That's one specific example. We have another venue lined up that will take us if we get a food trailer. So they exist, we just have to get there. Expanding the product line. So as I've said, adding things like coffees, we've already experienced a big growth when we're able to sell that at these markets. So that's what we're trying to do. And there are additional products we can add in there, but we know that this is a convenience line. So the more people you get in front of you, the more likely they will purchase that secondary product to increase the amount per transaction. And then the ability to bake on demand. So reducing our wastage, make more money. And of course, when you actually are producing on demand, the quality is going to go up. When you're producing on site, right? You can imagine a pretzel that was baked 8 hours ago versus a pretzel that was baked 15 minutes ago, right? You can imagine which one you'd like.
Thank you very much for listening to us. And if you would like to try our products, please come to Saturday Market or in Lakeland or in Winter Haven, try our product. And if you like it, you can consider us for our next events or venues or even for wholesale. Thank you very much, guys.
We take questions.
Perfect. So I see that March was fantastic. What did April look like?
April, we have one less market for the month. We're tracking at about 75%. So it's close to what we're expecting. We missed one market, but yeah, about 75% of that.
And if I can add something to it, actually Sun and Fun took it, like everyone on the market took a huge hit because of that. So a lot of people went to have Sun and Fun than the farmers market.
So if you are responsible for Sun and Fun, you can invite us next year, okay? Then we'll be the ones giving the hits, all right?
With that being said, do you think it might have been not the pretzels, but the weather and the time of people getting in nicer weather, spring, or do you think it was pretzels?
I can tell you pretty assuredly, based on the numbers, that it's pretzels. Like, that's at least half of that gross revenue that you saw. So, yeah.
And if I can add something to it, that weekend when we had Sun and Fun, we were kind of slow, but then the next week after, which was technically warmer and was, closer to summer, we did great again. So that's why.
You're welcome.
Do you currently own the trailer?
No, but we have the cash on hand, and we're going to buy one used.
Okay. What other, have you targeted other opportunities to sell once you get the trailer beyond the market you talked about?
The two markets we're talking about are the first ones that we're going to go into, right? But once we get the food trailer, it's just about telling people, because a lot of times they're going to want to see your setup. So if you tell them, well, imagine what it looks like, they'll go, we'll wait for it. So you have to get the setup, send them the photos so they know exactly what they're expecting before they actually say, yeah, we'll take you.
What other equipment are you going to put in the trailer besides the?
This is right now it. We have an espresso machine we'll use, but it'll come pre-fitted because we're going to buy something used, already licensed, and then we just have to retrofit it to include these items. Well, technically the generator's outside, but the oven.
If I can just add one more thing to your question, I was speaking to a lady from Strawberry Festival, and she said that it's very hard to get there, but we would have much higher chances if we had food trailer or food truck. Because otherwise, pop-ups don't work there very well. But food trailers are, actually. So one of them was Strawberry Festival.
Alrighty, give it up for Franklin Bread House. Awesome. Next up, we have Brad Compton from Resilient. He is not just a workspace member here, he has a 5-person office. He's also a makerspace member here, and they do custom hearing protection. So give it up for Brad.
Thank you. Oh, there's a lot of you out there. I didn't look back. That was probably a mistake. So my name is Brad Compton. I do have one vocal cord, so just bear with me. Thank God they gave me a microphone. My wife and I started this business quite a while ago, about 4 years ago or so. We've been married for 27 years, and we're both U.S. Navy veterans. Thank you. We met through, we're both air traffic controllers, and I ended up retiring from the FAA. She retired from the Navy. We have background in military intelligence. We have backgrounds in security teams. We have an extensive firearm background. We started out, teaching people how to shoot, and we needed good hearing protection. And one thing has led to another, and now we produce the best custom hearing protection in the state of Florida. Our team, completely family run, and it's me and my wife, and then our 3 boys, and then my wife's sister. And Nate, if you can come on up here for me, please. Everybody, give Nate a round of applause here. So Nate's gonna show something here. So as I'm talking, he's gonna monitor something. So some of our clients, we've had really good success, obviously in the firearm industry, and we're trying to branch out a little bit more and get into the corporate industry. We have already fit United Airlines ground crew in Tampa. We did about 120 of their employees out there. We've worked a lot with Glock, Harley Davidson. We've obviously fit air traffic controllers. And we're getting very involved now with Florida SWAT and Lakeland PD. We're working on a great partnership with those guys as well right now. We do have United in Orlando, if anybody is here. There's about 800 employees, and we finalized that contract, and we're getting out there hopefully next month to get those guys fit. So that's what our setup looks like. We travel around, and we would go to gun shows and places and try to set up and market our product in gun shops and ranges. And we're actually leaving tonight. As soon as we're done, we're driving all the way to Atlanta for the NRA conference up there, and we're doing earplugs up there all weekend. So who do we service? Shooters, regular earplugs, amplified earplugs, construction workers, law enforcement for all of their comms and radios that they have. Musicians, we can put multiple speakers in each ear, and then who has AirPods that fall out of their ears? Everybody, right? Well, we make custom sleeves that fit the AirPod and fits your ear. So instead of reading that chart, Nate, what's my decibel level right now?
60 decibels.
60. So anything over 85 decibels causes damage. So this is a participation part. Everybody clap and cheer. Loud as you go. Okay. I've only got 8 minutes, guys.
99.2.
99.2. So guess what? We just damaged our hearing. Good job. So the way the decibels work is that the longer the exposure, that exposure time decreases with the amount of decibels. So the louder the decibels, the shorter time it takes for it to cause damage to your hearing. So everybody give Nate a very soft applause as he goes back. There you go. Excellent. All right, so statistically speaking, 12% of all workers, they have hearing difficulty. 8% of all workers have tinnitus or tinnitus, depending on where you're from. And then these statistics are from the CDC, but 53% of noise-exposed workers report not wearing any hearing protection. So why? Why don't they? Well, they don't fit. People won't wear them. They'll put them in when the boss is looking. As soon as the bosses walk away, they pop them out because they don't want to wear them because they don't fit them. So the solution is our custom molded hearing protection. So we can do, our hearing protection is actually molded to your ear. We can mold it to an electronic if you want an electronic in it. The process, and this is where it gets fun, we take the impression of your ear with silicone. That impression needs to get 3D scanned, 3D printed. So we inject a 3D printed cast with silicone. So what we're doing now is we take the impression, that goes to Colorado, to the lab. They send it back to us, right? No. They send it to a lab here in Florida who 3D scans it. And now that goes to Georgia, where they take that 3D scan and then they make the actual part, the actual earplug. Then they send it back to us, right? No. That goes back to Colorado. Colorado, finally, will send it back to us. That process is taking about 4 to 8 weeks. So, if you did that, you have a problem with your earplug, you contact me, I got to redo it and remake it, guess what? Back to Colorado, back to Florida, back to Georgia, the whole process starts over again. So what's happening with our gross profit is because we do have to have the third party to produce these things, we only have about a 24% profit on any of the lab molded products. The solution is going to be the Form Labs Form 4B. This is a 3D printer that is utilized by the lab that we're using. It comes with the curing station and the wash station as well. That's going to increase our profit up to about 93%, which is a substantial amount, and our reduced production time down to about 2 weeks. Remakes can take literally that day. I can have it done and complete in a day. And then it's scalable. We can also produce other medical grade tools. We can produce anything in the medical industry for the most part, even prosthetics with these printers. So it does open up a lot of other avenues for us to make some revenue on it. We are going to be sending our molds to be 3D scanned by local companies. However, we're a military family. We're family run. If you're feeling generous, we would love to have one of these as well. It's $5,200. It takes 30 seconds for it to scan in the impressions. But for the time being, we'll be using a local company. With Catapult, we have grown exponentially since we've been here. And I can't thank the staff enough. It's been fantastic. We're going to be a success story regardless. And in a world where you can be anything, be resilient. Thank you, guys. What are your questions?
Your sales projections from 2024 to 2025 show a 13.4% increase in sales. Is that,
yes, sir.
Where is that coming from? Is that corporate sales, additional corporate sales?
That's corporate sales, yeah. And the thing is like with the most of the products that we're doing that would have to go to the lab, that's where we're trying to do more of that instead of the on-the-spot plugs, because we can make on-the-spot plugs that they're ready for you in a day, within an hour. And when we're doing anything with 3D printed that goes to the lab, we have your impression on file forever. So we can print a plug at any point. So, but trying to get into the corporate side of it is definitely our main goal, because we're done having to leave like tonight to go to Atlanta.
And how much do they cost?
For example, the sleeves for these are the Axle, those are the Axle GS Extremes, and the sleeves for those are $185.
What does it cost to make one of those? And then what will be the new cost?
The
once you
new
have the
cost for us
machine?
is going to be about $7.20,
Beautiful.
roughly.
And so I know when we asked you back there, you said some of your competitive advantage will be the turnaround time.
Correct.
What do your competitors' turnaround time look like right now?
Everyone is using roughly about the same labs. Hardly anybody will go outside or try to bring everything in. But we look at the money, and it's like we're losing way too much money by going out and using these other parties to do it. And the 4 to 8 weeks is acceptable. And to the other companies, and to us, we're all about customer service, and we want our people to really appreciate the product, but we want to show them that we appreciate them, and part of that is by providing the best service that we possibly can and doing it as fast as we possibly can, but maintaining the quality.
Who is your biggest competitor?
Right now, there is a company called EAR that is, they've been around for about 50 years, doing the same thing.
What sets you guys apart from that other than family-owned, military-owned, and time?
We are actually being a lot more innovative than they are. They are using a lot of products that are outsourced through other companies, and they'll put their own branding on it and call it and send it out the door. And that's what we're going to be doing differently. We're already in the maker space. We've already had discussions with our own chipsets and coming up with our own products that we're going to make. And that's our branding because it's our ideas, and it's going to have our speakers in it that we want, because there's a good bridge between sound or sound quality and then comfort, but usually only get one or the other. So we're going to be bringing both of them together, so you have amplification Bluetooth with premium sound, but you have also the best protection you could possibly get molded to your ear.
All righty, give it up for Brad. Awesome. Next up, we have Talia and Jesse from Resilient Meals. They are a kitchen member here at Catapult, and they do healthy meal prep options right here local to Lakeland. So as they come up, everybody give it up for Resilient Meals.
How's everybody doing today? Good? My name is Talia.
And hi, my name is Jesse. I want to tell you, and we're the founders of Resilient Meals. I want to tell you a little story how I lost the last 40 pounds of my 150-pound journey. When in my late teens and early 20s, I got up to about 375 pounds in weight. I was basically destined to die. I was pre-hypertensive, diabetic, and I was watching everyone else in my family just eat their life away. So with the health scare that happened in my early 20s, I just knew I had to figure it out. So somehow, without figuring out diet or exercise, I lost 110 pounds, didn't know what I was doing at all. So then fast forward about 8 years, and I became a chiropractor, and I met my beautiful wife, Talia, at the same time. And I started working insane hours. I plateaued, and this is where the last 40 pounds were the hardest for me. So she decided to take over my meal prep for me, because I was just eating oatmeal with water in it. Bros, right? Yeah, we don't know how to eat. And she took it to another level. I immediately dropped 40 pounds, had a six-pack, and everything that every guy wants. And all my patients started asking, how did I do it? Because I'm still working 12-hour days. I'll let her elaborate.
He proudly says all the time, my wife meal preps for me. So I have a good relationship with his patients too, because I work with him as well, or used to, because now we're super busy. But they would always ask me, can you meal prep for me? And I have a background in nutrition and dietetics, so I was like, sure. So I took about 5 people in my apartment, and they not only saw great results, but they also saw the convenience of having ready-to-go meals that you don't have to do dishes or anything. You just pop in the microwave and you just have them. That was a game changer. Word spread around, and I had to come here to Catapult to make those meals because they were a lot. So I had a great opportunity to come here and grow my business, and that's how Resilient Meals started.
And I won't stay on this slide for too long, but basically, I met her when I was 265, but as you can see, I didn't have any pictures when I was 375. We don't like to take pictures usually when we're that big. I was about a 50-inch waist. But when I met her, I started practicing, I was 265 and got down to 225 pretty fast. So, pretty happy with the results she gave me.
It was you too, so you gotta take credit for yourself. Yeah. So, Resilient Meals is a local meal prep company here in Lakeland that is family owned and operated. As you can see, that's my beautiful family cooking it up every Sunday to make sure that you have your meals fresh. And we are proudly saying that we use minimal ingredients and fresh at all times. Also, we discriminate against seed oils. It's motor oil for your body. It's the canola, the vegetable oil. We don't like those. We cook strictly with olive oil, tallow, and butter. And our flavor is amazing. We go from Latin to Asian to Mexican, you name it. We have all the varieties. And the menu changes every 2 weeks, so you don't get bored of the food. Also, we take input from our clients. So say that you want a meal to be prepared, we take it in consideration, and we prepare those recipes to be in the menu for you. And over here, you're gonna see two of our top sellers. That is the beefy bowl of rice. It's grass-fed meat with mixed vegetables in it and jasmine rice. And then there's a lower carb version of it. It's the same base of grass-fed meat with spinach and roasted sweet potatoes. And in the middle, that's my beautiful mom cooking, helping me.
Okay, and I have a question for everyone here. How many of you use any food dyes or any special chemicals at home to make your food look fresher, brighter? Come on, Subway, right? That's how their tomatoes look so bright red. Do any of you guys use any of that? Or do you just actually cook the food with anything you buy at the store? So that's exactly how we do it. If you ever look at the back of a Factor meal, if you've ever tried meal prep companies before and they get you locked in, you'll see a paragraph of ingredients. You won't know what half of it means, and you won't even read it. You'll just assume it's healthy because everyone tells you it is. Our meal prep has 5 to 6 ingredients usually, and we never use any types of ingredients like those chemicals they're just fillers, preservatives, mold inhibitors, and that's how they're able to ship them to you. But they usually try to do that to save money, hence the canola oil, peanut oil, everything. The extra virgin olive oil costs a little bit more money, but we care more about our clients' health. And we also care about delivering it fast and locally fresh. And I'll let her take it from there.
So the challenges that we're facing right now is that when we buy meal containers, the consistency is not the right way. Sometimes they come broken, the lids don't close right, and we have to buy extra just in case those things happen. And sometimes we even have to go run to Sam's Club and just buy the really cheap containers, sorry. And that's a big struggle when you want to scale a business, when it takes consistency. And as you can see, that's our current packaging. It looks great, but it takes a while for us to find those containers, price fluctuation too, and that's pretty much how we're getting by right now. What we need is these 3 seal manual trays. They basically airtight your meals, so there's no signs of just leaking or making sure everything's going to be consistent, everything's going to be fresh. We're going to be able to expand to other markets because the meals are going to be shipped in these containers, so they're not going to be able to move around, they're going to stay tight, and they're going to be riding for longer. So we're trying to expand to the Tampa, Orlando, and possibly Miami locations. So this would be a great kickstart before we get into a refrigerated truck.
And currently, we're spending about 34 cents per container because we're not able to buy in bulk. And because of that, we're asking for this equipment so that way we can buy in larger quantities, up to 2,000 meal containers, which will drive the cost down drastically to 10 cents. With those 34 cents containers, so many problems come where we wait for them to come in, the boxes are damaged, they're heat damaged, they're damaged in transport, and sometimes they don't even come at all. So buying in bulk will allow us to be able to plan ahead with allowing people to order in advance and have the actual production to handle the demand. If we'd had these containers last year and the machines we're asking for, we would be saving over $2,000 with the current customer load we had. This year, by the end of the year, we're expected to have 90 customers per week, and we're hoping to save around $8,000, and then so on next year, doubling up to $20,000 in savings. So you can see it's going to make a big deal in our production and cost of supplies.
Resilient Meals is not just a name. It's a true representation of who we are as business partners, as a married couple, and as part of our community. We've gone through so many hurdles, so many personal problems, and we still stay resilient. So thank you for your time.
So I actually have two quick questions. With you saying that there's a 20-cent saving or 23-cent saving per container per meal, what's the cost per meal right now to produce?
Raw without just how it costs right now?
Yeah, what does it cost you per meal?
Depends.
without
The chicken dishes are about $4.50, and then the steak and fish dishes are about $6, $6.50.
And then the subscription model. I know previously you guys were trying to be non-subscription, which is kind of a tough model to run. Tell me more about how you guys are now doing subscriptions and what that contract or purchase looks like.
Yes, we found over and over again that people, they love the one-time ordering, but they got sick of having to enter their credit card every week. So we finally got a new platform to bring on. It's similar to Fit Life Foods, if any of you guys have ever tried their service. It's very integrative. You're allowed to do subscription models and add on one-time orders and order up to 6 weeks. Currently, we're going to be offering 3 packages, 6 meals at normal price, recurring, and then 10 meals, you'll get about a 10% discount, and then 14 meals, which we find about as the average people get, for about a 15 to 16% discount. Yep.
I saw in the pitch, it was mostly Central Florida focused. Is there any plans to expand outside of just, this Tampa, Orlando area?
Yes, our goal is eventually to expand into Miami, and she's Dominican, and we even have investors that are looking at Dominican Republic. The second we're ready, they have funds to open us there. So yeah, eventually nationwide, but we only like to deliver fresh, so we don't want to ship frozen.
How much do you charge for shipping at this point?
We only deliver fresh. We don't charge, outside of our radiuses, we do add a $7 delivery fee, but if you spend over $65, the delivery is free.
How far do you go to Tampa and Orlando today?
We've gone as far as Clearwater.
And do you guys deliver direct to customer or just sites where they pick up the meals?
Both. As a chiropractor, I'm partnered with many different CrossFit gyms, many different health facilities, corporate offices, so we have a lot of connections there. So we deliver home and business.
I want to add, we also have had fridges in the CrossFit gyms that we deliver to, so they're able to say that they don't have time to pick up the meals at the time that we're there. We easily just leave them there in the fridges that we have partner gyms with.
Awesome. Alrighty, everybody give it up for Resilient Meals. Alrighty, last but certainly not least is Mark Sutton, founder of Andrew Logan's. He is a kitchen member here at Catapult, and he does artisan chocolates and confections. Everybody give it up for Mark Sutton.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Sutton, and I am the founder of Andrew Logan's, an artisan chocolate and confections business. The first question anyone ever asks me is if I'm Mark Sutton, who is Andrew Logan? And this is a great question, and my favorite question, because it gives me a reason to explain the meaning behind the name. Most chocolate shops are typically named after an owner, but I wanted this business to be more than just about myself. So I chose to pick the name of 2 people that are big inspirations to me. So Andrew is my father. Oh, I know. Andrew is my father, has always encouraged my passion for food like many in my family. And Logan is my son, who has always given me motivation and gives me the drive to keep going and to support my family. So how did I get here? So in middle school, I've had a passion for baking, and I actually wanted to be a pastry chef. But even in the high school, for some reason, my parents suggested I go into the Marines for much needed discipline and some direction. I don't know why, though. So after the Marines, I decided to pursue a career in finance. So I've worked in finance for 10 years. That's actually where I'm in now. And even after all this time in finance, I've still had this passion for starting my own business or having a food business or working in a food business. So about 7 years ago, I decided to try making chocolates for the first time, and it was challenging, but I absolutely fell in love with it, the artistry and the science behind it. So doing more research, I realized that there's no chocolate shops here in Lakeland, even though I feel like there is a need for it or a demand for it. And Tampa or Orlando are probably the closest places to find high-end chocolate. And so after years of practicing, learning from YouTube, and just learning from mistakes, I felt I was ready to launch my own chocolate business. So I decided to apply at Catapult, because I've heard many things about it, and my grandmother used to tell me all the time to check it out. And so I finally did, and we applied, and I was more than ecstatic when we got accepted. So in June of 2023, we launched Andrew Logan's, and I started selling at the farmer's market just on Saturdays while still working full-time. Still to this day, we run the business part-time, but in the beginning of the farmer's market, it was a good way for us to get exposure and an easy way for us to limit some risk with not taking additional costs. We started with just 6 flavors of bonbons and 1 chocolate bar, and at the beginning, first few weeks, we had some melted chocolate, and we went through a couple summer monsoons, which definitely challenged us, but we persevered and kept going, and we've grown ever since. Now we offer an array of products from bonbons, brittles, caramel sauces, and even the infamous Dubai chocolate bar that maybe some of you have seen on Instagram or TikTok. Our biggest area of growth right now, though, is through branded chocolates. We have the ability to do custom images or logos on chocolates, as you can see on the screen. We've worked with Allen & Company and even Catapult here we did for their anniversary. We also partnered with other businesses in the area, and we also sell different products at other businesses, including Hillcrest, Concord Coffee, and just most recently, Home 2 Sweets next to I-4. So now, our biggest achievement to date is in January 2025, Market on Kentucky opened, which is right next to Fresco's, and we were asked to be one of the anchor businesses in their store. This has changed things substantially for us. Our sales have increased significantly, and now the store is open 5 days a week, so we have additional sales along with a new line of customers that we didn't have exposure to before. And this has increased revenue and helped with just our image and overall. We've been fortunate to be recognized on many social media places, even local magazines. Just recently this month, Haven Magazine did a 3-page article on us, and we're actually in the new, we have some chocolates in the new issue of the Lakelander. So what we've done, even with doing this business part-time, since June of 2023, we've had over 90,000 in gross sales, and this year we're estimated to have over 70,000 in gross sales. We've acquired 3 wholesale accounts, and we've had 1,100 followers on Instagram and Facebook. That has all been organic. We have not put 1 penny into marketing or advertising, and so all our business has grown purely just from word of mouth. So why am I here? We have challenges that we need help overcoming. We currently create our chocolate through a technique called tempering. Tempering is the scientific process of handling chocolate, which involves heating and cooling to get chocolate to have its shine and its snap. It is a very labor-intensive process and is very technical, and when not done right, can lead to unnecessary waste. So we're looking to fix this, and how we can fix this is through an automated tempering machine. This Sell Me Legend machine automatically tempers chocolate in 15 minutes, which manually takes almost 45 minutes. This will speed up our productivity by 3 to 4 times our current rate, and will also automatically control or automate a lot of our processes with the handling of chocolate. The biggest impact this is going to have is it gives us the ability to scale and also increase our team. So what it would look like for the future with this piece of equipment. For 2026, we would hire our first full-time employee to help manage Andrew Logan's. This is also going to increase our e-commerce capability, which we plan on launching in in the summer of this year. We will be able to acquire larger wholesale accounts, and we'll also be able to have time to do chocolate classes or chocolate tutorials that we have many requests for. This also will allow us to do large accounts, which unfortunately are larger sales for businesses or community events that we've had to turn away in the past, unfortunately, because we just do not have the setup to handle it. Also, this machine has the ability for additional attachments, as you can see. So there's an enrobing belt that we can use to help do more branded chocolates, so we can also increase that part of business down the road. We are honored to be here at Catapult. It is, I tell everyone that I've ever talked to about Catapult, it is one of the most amazing places. My business 100% would not be here without Catapult. and I would be more than honored to give a portion of that money back, and I hope that other businesses can grow and take the risks like we have to be here and to see what can happen. I thank you so much for all of you that have come. This is a big deal for us and nervous for a lot of us, and it's a big, like I said, a big deal. We appreciate all your time, and we have a little treat for all of you when you leave here, but I just want to say thank you again.
So tell me a little bit more about that 25% back. That is a new one to me. Is that to Catapult? Is that
Correct.
to local charities?
To Catapult. Yeah, we give 25% of the grant back to Catapult.
Would that be after a year?
Your 2 years is a requirement. Our goal would be to do it in 1 year.
Tell me about your growth in the wholesale market. Are you considering going up to like the fancy food show in New York and doing some?
We've had a lot of businesses reach out to us about wholesale. We're very particular about our image, though. We're definitely a luxury and high-end item, so we're very particular about the kind of places that we get into. We want it to match how we look in the image overall. So unfortunately, there's a lot of places we don't do just because we don't feel like it really fits for our business. And two, some of them are just too big, and I'm worried we wouldn't be able to handle the scale of it.
All right, random question on the machine. So it's the total cost is $17,000. Obviously, we can go up to 10. But tell me why that particular machine. Is it just capacity, like the high rate? Is it awesome? Does it do everything you need it to do?
No, it's a great machine, and I've actually, Diana, who owns Doe Bakehouse in town and is one of the resident experts here, she helped actually give advice for the machine. She has one of these that she uses in her local bakery here for supplying desserts. She does a lot of things for Disney and things. I did a lot of research on what kind of machine. There are smaller ones, and they are great and probably would be a temporary solution, but eventually we would outgrow them. The great thing about this machine is we can never outgrow it. The only thing is we may get more of them, but this type of machine they make bigger ones of, but it's not something that would stop getting used at some point, where the smaller, more affordable machines would.
And where will the machine be stored?
Here,
where you use it?
Here at Catapult, correct.
Awesome. Alrighty, let's give it up for Andrew Logans. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and release the judges to go ahead and deliberate. And while they do that, I'm going to invite the finalists back up if you guys want to grab your chairs in the corner. We are going to have a live Q&A session. So if you guys had any questions you were thinking of during each of the finalists' pitch, now is the time for you to ask those questions and get answers. It could be about anything. And they're going to be joined by our kitchen manager, Elena Schillinger. She manages our kitchen incubator on the first floor. So like Kristen mentioned, we have 3 of those incubators here. One is the kitchen, one is the maker space, and one is the workspace. So we're going to do some Q&A, have a moment, and then the judges will come back in after that, and we will see who will be awarded some money tonight. And then we're going to have an after party at the joinery as well. So give it up for our finalists as we do some Q&A.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for staying until the end. I know it's a lot of fun to watch all those pitches. So just to introduce myself real quick, Cammie mentioned I am the kitchen manager here at Catapult, so I get to work very closely with 3 of the pitchers tonight, but I'm very excited to have everyone here. So I'm actually going to start off tonight with the first question, and then after that, we have 2 people running mics, so just give us a wave if you have a question, and we'll bring a mic over to you. So my first question for everyone, and we can start all the way on the end with Mark, is how can we as an audience and kind of as a community support your business?
Just spend more money. I think. No, just spreading the word, honestly. As I mentioned, we haven't done any advertising or any marketing on our business, but the amount of word of mouth, or we have people that have said, "Oh, I heard about your business," and it just means the world. When total strangers know about your business, or total strangers are coming to buy something that you're making, it just makes you feel like you're doing something right. And that has been one of the drivers since the beginning, is that, you know, we have complete strangers that are total regulars of our business now, and it's just an amazing feeling.
I'd say specifically for myself and my business, it's the point of basically like why we're all here. It's the point of why we're all in Catapult, and it's to meet those people, it's to get those connections, and it's honestly to network with those people that we need to meet in order to get us all of our businesses to the place that we need to be. Specifically for my company, I'm more looking for people who are driven within the biotech field or genetics, or people who are interested in innovation, and meeting those people here tonight and other events that Catapult hosts to really leverage those connections and utilize our networking that these kind of events offer.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's the entrepreneur world is very, very lonely. And being here with everyone else is great because we share the same frustrations and everything. And but what you can do for us is exactly that. Support us, be proud of us, and buy local, buy the stuff people are making that are fabricating ourselves, and we put our own blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff. So it helps us a lot, and it means a lot when you come to us and say, hey, this was great. I really appreciate that. And that's worth more than money for us, for the vast majority of us, I'm sure.
I think it's easy to say what they all said, pretty much. But also a good way is to follow us on social media. Our Lakeland community is really, really supportive, and that's something that I love, because when something comes here to Lakeland, everyone wants to try it. Everyone is looking at the Lakelander magazine or the LAL, and a good way for you guys to be on the loop is just to go on social media. Give us a like. Even if you like a picture, if you never tried our food or any of our products and you think the picture looks great, give it a share, give it a like. I'm always posting content about what people want to see, engage on that. If you see a business asking for a poll or a question, make sure you engage, because we take, as business and small business, we do take that input very seriously. So when you see that, just go ahead and just hit that yes or no, hit that 1, 2, 3, any quizzes that we do. It helps us a lot.
Yeah, in the food industry, we do not put blood in our food. Sweat and tears, possibly. So just wanted to clarify that. Different industries put different things. Yeah, I would say specifically for us, it's about venue. The more that you think about our product as being a fit for what you need, right? So we do things, and we have like orders coming on for corporate events and stuff like that. So just consider us, and consider what each of these people might be able to bring to your company or to your business, right? I mean, everybody has a special offering, and you can see how almost all of them will fit in. Yep.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. So we are ready to open it up to audience Q&A now. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. We've got one in the back that we can start with.
Hi, good evening. My question is for Brooke. I think your business is incredibly interesting.
Thank you.
As a consumer of beauty products myself, and I spend a lot of money on these products, I was really interested in the genetic side of what you were discussing. What turned me off a little bit was the elimination process. As a consumer, I feel I can do that part myself, but I can't do genetic testing myself. The other thing that turned me off a little bit was your focus on problems. While I'm sure skincare problems are widespread, I think the actual bigger market is anti-aging. And I didn't hear you reference that at all. How do you plan to take advantage of the huge anti-aging market?
Yeah, so as we're also seeing a rising, growing trends of younger influencers using those anti-aging products like retinol that are being used in so many new beauty products, it's no secret that that's definitely the rising trends, especially as more awareness comes up, and I'm really glad you asked about it, because that's kind of more of the target market we want to shift towards. In the beginning of this company, I looked more towards that target market of the younger generation who is becoming beauty influence obsessed by all these different influencers, but then while doing more research and kind of getting more data on on that, I realized the people that who are buying the most products and that kind of end buyer of it are the people in the older industry who are needing these products and they're looking to switch it up and create those solutions for anti-aging. And it's definitely, as we grow and scale, that's something I want to clearly market towards, and especially getting into dermatologists as well, not just selling on e-commerce, but getting into those dermatologist spaces where they're able to advertise our product in that to their older audience who is coming into them as well. Thank you.
All right. We have a mic coming for you.
My question is for Brooke as well. So I need specific genes. How many? And what are they? And how that you test for? And how are you going to ensure that people are worried, especially now with the whole 23andMe, of course, getting sold. People do not want their genetic markers, their genetic data in the world. How are you protecting against that, as well as specific how many and what are they? Because I know a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's something that I've definitely been taking note of. Of course, like Pete, there was this huge outbreak of 23andMe having their data breached last year, which led to their now shutdown. And how we're able to do that in the way that 23andMe was not able to do is use more closely of anonymization. So instead of your full government name that you submitted to us being used, your user 200,074, and that's just how we kind of keep that data breach. So in the case, in the slight chance that there was like a data breach, it's not being connected to you. Your DNA is not able to identify you as a person being against that. And then when we're looking at a person's like specific genes, kind of think of it in a way that other testing, like other genetic testing has been able to use. So similarly, like Ancestry, like how are they breaking down your 23 genes, and like how can you incorporate your genes itself? And then we're basically taking the biomarkers specifically and how your skin absorption is into that, and then skin absorption from the ingredients in it, because the ingredients are public information and we're able to easily take those ingredients and compare it to the skin, if that makes sense. Oh. Okay, yeah, now I'm understanding. So we kind of, all of your genes taking place, and that's just not even looking at, okay, skin absorption, we're looking at genetic history from the genes from it, because sometimes you can be a carrier that's, can express in something else, and is that answering more of your question? Yes. Okay, I'm so sorry. Yes. Of the specific genes that we're looking at, you have to look at all of them, and then as the person it does that, we cut it out based off of what we're actually looking for specifically. So depending on what you're wanting to target and focus, as some individuals struggle with rosacea, some individuals are struggling with acne, and some people struggle with dry skin, so we look at which gene in that is being expressed, and then we can find the number, whether it's 1, 2, or up to 10, like you said.
We're gonna. Yep. We're going to keep moving just so that everyone can get some questions as well, but I know Brooke will be available afterwards as well to keep chatting.
I would love to chat with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions kind of around the room? One in the back here, and then next up we'll have on the side this way.
For resilience, you do not use preservative, right?
No, ma'am.
So when somebody places an order on Sunday, I think it's the day that you deliver the meal, for how many days? How long they have to be refrigerated? Or is just from one day, how many days will last?
No, everything is pre-order. So we have in the label, it says that you can consume it between 5 and 7 days. We recommend for you to get the vegetables, the ones that are heavy on the vegetables first, just because we don't put the citric acid, we don't put anything. We grind our own garlic. I'm Dominican, so I make my own sofrito and everything from scratch. So I have people that say, hey, do you want cauliflower rice? I'm like, I can make the cauliflower rice, but just be sure that you eat those meals first, just because they tend to go bad faster. So, but everything, all the description will be on the label and on the website as well.
Amazing. Our next one is going to be on the end here.
I had a few questions for different people, but I can keep it to just one. The first one I wanted to ask for Brad. So if I'm understanding right, these earplugs, they were started with the intention of shooting and helping reduce that. But I'm also hearing, which I see is a really cool potential, is putting speakers in them to act as like in-ears for musicians or for people going on runs or hiking. The question I would have is, hearing that, where's the sound protection element? Because it almost feels like, are those like, is it contradicting? Kind of like if Chick-fil-A was to sell hamburgers.
Right. I mean, it's just, we can, like if the way that the electronics work for shooting or anything that's going to protect your hearing, what the electronic does is anything that's over 85 decibels, it uses a compression feature to compress that sound down. Most hearing protection, or like your I should say your AirPods or anything, you can crank that volume up, and that's controlled by you. But what we can do is some of the electronic earplugs that we're wanting to get into manufacturing, we'll limit that to where nothing over 85 decibels ever enters the ear canal. The seal that we're making with all of our earplugs, because the seal is so good, you're getting the benefit of nothing at all from your ambient sound. Outside is going to make it through, but once the electronic is in there as well, it can be controlled.
Do we have any more? Another one over on this end, and then after that, we'll head over to this side.
Hi there, I have a question for Resilient Meals. Is the container that the food is in, you mentioned that that's microwavable, is that plastic, and is there any other alternative to plastic for the container?
So right now we're doing a container that is BPA free and PHA free. It's a small company, so that's why I believe that there's a little bit of problems every time it comes shipping. But pretty much it's BPA free. We're switching to these containers that are also going to be BPA free and recyclable as well. And we recommend whenever we pack our meals, they're packed cold. So the impact inside the container, it's not hot. So we do recommend, you can microwave them, but just to be safe, I wish I could do glass containers. That's all I use in my house. I don't have any plastic. But I do recommend if you want to take it up a notch, that's just me being super picky with, what I eat. You can put it in a glass container, and you can absolutely microwave that and trash the other one. Thank you.
Awesome. And then I know we had a couple over on this end as well. We'll start right here.
Thank you. This is for Mark. I'm just wondering what your R&D process looks like for new chocolates, how you come up with new ideas.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I do a lot of research online, a lot of other companies and things that we look into. And I actually, we just recently took a trip to Switzerland and visited 3 chocolate factories, which was a big inspiration for us. It was a cool way to see what other large companies are doing and kind of look into hopefully what maybe someday our future could look like for the business and what we could potentially become.
And then right back here in the back.
This question is for Resilient Meals. I love food, I love healthy food, and I love when people make my food. So my question is about diverse meals. So do you have plans to outsource from different chefs across different cultures as you expand?
I am a big foodie, just like you. Yes, I'm always looking for recipes myself. I am Dominican, so our country is really big on other communities too. I've traveled a lot, so I know a little bit about food, and I'm always trying to find new recipes, and our customers are also our chefs too. They actually tell me, hey, I saw this dish, can you recreate it for me? And if it makes sense, in the macro-wise and cost-wise, I always try to take input on that. But my dream would be just to hire a chef so I can retire and not make the meals. But everyone loves my cooking too, so it's hard to not say goodbye to what I do. Thank you.
All right, any last ones back here?
Yes, I'll ask it. Trevor, how did you meet your wife?
Oh, wow. That's a crazy story. So we actually, we met in Hong Kong. So we were studying. Yeah, yeah, the natural conclusion. Yeah. Everybody figures that out, yeah. We were studying abroad in Hong Kong, and we met first day, and my wife, she told me I was really annoying. So I invited myself on their IKEA trip to go furnish the apartment that we were renting. And she said, "What do you think you're doing inviting yourself on our trip?" And I was like, well, geez, different life, huh? It's romantic.
All right, I think we're going to do one last question back here, and then I'm going to finish it off with the last question of the night.
Hi, yeah, I had a question for Resilient Meals. Can you explain the machine again just a bit more? Because I understood it as just kind of like a saran wrapper.
Have you seen a TV dinner? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's a lot more secure. So the plastic is going to be more heat resistant. There's the environmental factor that it's going to be recyclable. But it's just a film. So the meal goes in the tray. The film comes like toilet paper, I would say. And you just press it, and then it's just not vacuum sealed, but it just takes out of the oxygen. And oxygen is what makes the food go bad, pretty much. So it just seals everything, kind of like when you airtight those glass containers, just makes everything more secure. So that's how it works.
So I'm going to finish it off with the last question. So we'll start right here with Trevor. So we know that tonight is a lot about the funding. That's what we've been talking about a lot. But what we like to focus on is that it's not all about the funding. So throughout this process of applying and then doing a pitch practice and closed door sessions and presenting, what is one thing that you have learned from this entire process outside of the funding?
You're always underprepared. Yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like you do anything, right? And you're kind of always like right either over or under, So it sounds funny, but yeah, I would say that's like a general thing.
We can pass it back down.
So you want to treat your company like it's $1 million company from the start. So this is a great opportunity for us to prepare publicly speaking, be aware of our finances, because these people are really like, let me see your finances. So this is really good. This is really make us understand where we are, and then later in the future, when you want to pitch, maybe I don't know, Shark Tank, you have this preparation, and it's a great opportunity for you to practice and hopefully win something.
I agree. It's we all have a general idea of your finances. When you're running a business, you know where everything's going. We all would have said, "Oh yeah, we're good, no problem." But then when you actually really get down, like, okay, how much is that one thing costing me? And then you realize that, wow, we're losing so much money. We could do that so much better. And it wasn't just for this. I think it was just it opened up our eyes with other little things that we're doing. That's okay. We need to tweak that. We need to be more efficient at this, more efficient at that, just so we can do a better job, and nobody, you start your own business because it's easy, right? But that's the furthest thing from the truth. I've never worked so hard in my life, I don't think so. Yeah, I think that you just find out really what your business means to you and to your team.
For me, I think it's definitely, as a startup, treating it like a startup instead of treating it like a large company straight off the bat. It's one of the biggest learning challenges I had to overcome. I would constantly be trying to do the finances and the different business plans like you see those large companies and corporations doing so, and more so treating my startup as a separate company that can turn into a larger corporation in the future.
I would think the biggest thing is just honestly putting in the work and not cutting corners. There was hours and hours I put into creating Excel sheets just for the application for this. And there's so many aspects just from that to different parts of the business that you have to put in the work. And I think when you put in that work and sacrifice things now, or like time or money, when you look back down the road, you'll appreciate those things even more. And if you really are passionate and it's something you really want to do, you are going to put in the work and the effort to make it happen.
All right, let's give these finalists one last round of applause.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. You can go ahead and take a seat. Incredible. Well, right after this, Mark was actually so kind to provide chocolate samples for all of you. So if you want to try his chocolate on the way out, you can get some in the back. And then we also have over here some corn as well, so if you guys want to have some of that on the way out, feel free to grab some of that. But are you guys ready to find out who was awarded? Awesome. All right, everybody welcome Kristen back up, and she's going to make our final announcements.
So I have been a part of quite a number of these launch pitch nights in my almost 7 years at Catapult, and never have we finished deliberating when the Q&A wasn't up yet. Normally, we have a really awkward tap dance moment right now, so this is exciting. And the one time we actually have chocolates for you to try during this awkward tap dance, of course, we got done in time, so this is very exciting. Just a quick reminder. This is a whole program. A lot of work went into getting each one of these businesses to where they are today. They've had to work on financials and go through workshops for that, their pitch. So can we give them one more round of applause for all the work that went here to get tonight? So part of what makes this grant competitive is that not everybody gets awarded. But each one of these finalists have gotten a lot out of participating in this program. And so the way that we're going to make this announcement, if you could put the finalists back on the screen. Is there a slide for that, Elena? It's okay if there's not. But we're going to go through in the order that they pitched and make the announcement one by one. Okay, so first we're starting with Dermagenius and Greg.
Thank you very much, Kristen. Brooke, we really loved your passion, what you've done, and your commitment to starting a company. And it's amazing. You're only a sophomore in college. That's just crazy. But we think there's great opportunities for you to see what can happen in the future in your company. So we are going to award you the $2,500 to continue making Dermagenius what it can be.
Before we move off of Brooke, she was here every single day this week, putting in work on her presentation, her financials. She is the type of person that we at Catapult want to be investing in, and we're really, really, really proud of her and excited that she's here in the Lakeland community. So moving on to Franklin Bread Company. You guys, great presentation. We love that you have joined us here at Catapult recently. We're excited about the growth you're seeing in your company, and we recognize that it's very early on. So these last couple months, you've seen a lot of growth. What we need to see is consistency in that growth. So what we'd like to do is invite you to come back and pitch another time once we're able to see more of that consistency. But tonight, we're not going to award you the money, but we're really excited about the potential for your company, and this is not a reflection of that. You're just early on. So give them a round of applause.
Resilient, Brad, great presentation. You guys did a great job. As a business owner myself, I know the importance of on-demand manufacturing and being able to control your own destiny. So we are super excited to fully fund the 4B printer for you guys. Love it. We hope to see you grow more, and hopefully everyone in this room can get a set of earplugs from them.
Resilient Meals. We love the changes that y'all have made. You guys came last time, and we invited you to come back again, and you made a lot of changes, sticking to the subscription model, not doing a storefront, being very efficient with everything, and you're seeing a lot of growth. So we're really excited to award you the full benefit for the 3 machines, and we look forward to seeing the growth that you guys do.
Mark, for Andrew Logan's, we're very excited that you are in the Lakeland area and providing a service of the high quality chocolatier that is not in the area now. You have a proven record over the last year and a half with significant growth doing it full-time or part-time. So we are excited to grant you the full amount as well.
So this is Vanna White, Sharita, So tonight we are awarding $29,639. And so I want to say a huge shout out again to our financial institutions, each one of these people who donated their time to be here tonight and go through the grueling process of judging this competition. Thank you all for being here. Finalists, I would like for you to stand up while I'm still talking. Make your way outside with this check for a picture. Do not pass go. Do not stop and talk to anybody. And thank you all for being here tonight, for supporting these entrepreneurs. Please go and buy their products. And that is all that we have. Get some chocolates. They're delicious. You deserve it. That's it.